Good morning. Made it to the beach and gonna try to record some stuff. So, Act 1. Who am I? So, some of you might see my last video, which I was applying for OpenAI funds. Another, you might see my Twitter. I've been trying to be building public. And what else? The YouTube algorithms just recommend you to me.
Who are you?
Who am I? My name is Necmettin. It's a really long, difficult name to pronounce, I guess. But in Turkey, people mostly call me, for short, it's like Neco. I spent quite a bit of time in China, and people had always difficulties with the pronouncing it, and they were trying to read it in English, and they call it Neco, Neco. And it also has a funny rhyme with the cat in Japanese, so it kind of stick with it. So, shortly, you can call me Neco. So, in regard of who am I? In 2012, when I was 18 years old, I went to China for the idea of I'm gonna study college degree there, doing international trade, and gonna get rich. That was the idea. Then eventually, what happened is 9 months in, our family business got bankruptcy, and suddenly I found myself on this edge where I want to stay in China, but no longer had a family support, or at least paying my expenses. So my dad called me one day, he's asking, "Hey son, let me know the date. I will book your flight back home." But at first call, I was just shattered and couldn't reply anything. Then eventually, a couple of weeks passed, my dad called me again saying that, "Hey son, you either give me a date for me to book a flight, or you stay there, you're your own, and figure your life." As you would guess, I choose the tough way and end up staying in China, start to figure out my own expenses. Immediately, I get a job as a waiter in a Turkish restaurant, just work as a waiter, and eventually, I figured that out. It's if I just do a waiter's job, I will be not getting anywhere. It will be just saving the day, but it will be not anything for future. So eventually, I decide to relocate. I moved from Shanghai to Guangzhou. It was quite a bit of journey. It took 24 hours with the slowest train I can afford. I made it to Guangzhou, the southern part of China, which is close to Hong Kong. When I came to Guangzhou, it was during the summer break. I will say July or August. So I checked into the school dormitory. There was no one. I was just the only kid still in the dormitory. And I was trying to look for a job. I gave myself a 1 month time to find a job, unless I will just try go back to the waiter's job to save the day. So I pulled some strings, find some friends, and eventually get some contact to reach out if there might be a possible jobs. So I give a call to this guy called Levent, say that hey, I got your number. I'm a student, I'm looking for a job, and we talk. And he said, "Yeah, sure, come over." We talked. I went there, and the interview was a quite simple one. "How was your Chinese?" I said, "It's really bad." "How was your English?" It was also really bad, because I went to China without speaking any English or Chinese. So then what happened next? He asked me what you can help with us. I said I'm good with the computer, so I might be able to help you guys with the social media, etc. And he says, "Okay, we can work with that." And I got the job. But at that time, he was out. He was going to go for a vacation or something. So he said "Come back in a month, and you will start working as our social media manager and take care of our website, etc." And he asked me "Do I know how to build a website?" I said no, but he gave me some software Drupal or the WordPress. Go learn about them, and once you come back, we start building the websites for our company. I get in there, and I start working for in that company for a year. I built all their websites with hacking my way around. I didn't go with the Drupal or WordPress. I built custom HTML website at that time because I wanted something fancy. And that's how I started coding. After a year in the company, they said like, okay, we figured out our social media, figured out our websites. Now we do need help with the company management, since we need hands on the project management. The company was an architecture company. It was a multinational one, so headquarters was in China. So I did I started doing some international architecture projects, managed some teams. It was cool. I thought okay, I can do this, and I changed my major from which I was intended to be international trade, but I moved to the architecture because if I niche down to some specific thing, I thought okay, I can do more stuff with it. So I switched to architecture, studied for a year and a half. I become executive director assistant. I was literally trying to do everything the director will need it and help manage the projects, checking with the clients, customer management, etc. It was quite a handy job to learn about the world, how to work with it. So eventually I got an announcement in the company saying that train Neco to be future CEO of the company. Is by the time he finishes the college, he will be a very well-trained person. So they offered me that position. I was really happy, getting an offer of being a CEO for a multinational company which makes millions. That's an exciting offer. But for some reason, I didn't take it right away. I thought, do I really want this? Because at that time, it's I remember when I first went to China, my idea was China is going to be the step on where I kickstart my journey of traveling around the world. So starting an architecture job and taking a job offer as a CEO will mean that I will be stuck there. And if I stuck there, I kind of this is all my dreams, traveling around the world, being independent. So that put me in a thinking, and I start to check what I can do else. Having the experience with building websites and doing some couple small freelancing gigs as well with the building website. I thought if I'm gonna do travel around the world and make some bugs, the best job suits to that is going to be building websites and doing the freelancing career. So I went into the bet. It's my friends saying that if I can get a software job with a software title, he will drop anything he does and start learning about software development. That was on 2 weeks in, and I found a job. It was a company, it was a DJI contractor that we were building software for consumer drones to do enterprise tasks. And so I start working for them. I take the job as a junior software developer. They were using Vuestack. I was a new little bit React. I start working. Then what happened next is 6 months later, that friend I was in the bed, he also get the same a job in the same company and start working with me. We worked there for a year and a half. Then I happened to learn start learning about how to build desktop applications. I played with Electron at that time. But eventually, after a year and a half, we got a little bit company culture mismatch, let's say. We quit the job. What happened next is we took almost a 1 month off, went to the Philippines. First time I'm traveling around the world. Remember that story, China is the first step that I'm going to travel. So this was the first feeling of okay, this is how the travel is supposed to be. So we went to Philippines with my close friend, Osman, Thibaut, and Elena. Idea was just get started with traveling, seeing around the world. But interesting fact was my friend Thibaut was working in TopTal, just doing the freelancing gigs and making his life, and he didn't have any work time limitations, etc. So that felt okay, this is the way of working, traveling around the world. So when I saw that, it's okay, let me kickstart my freelancing career. So I applied for a TopTal, Upwork, a couple other websites. Then I never pulled through the top 2 application just because I never got to the time for it. But soon enough, I got like a Upwork done, and I quickly get a job in Upwork. So I start working in Upwork with the different clients. At that time, like that friend of mine who was working with me, Osman, him and one of the other friends I met, Simon, we set up like a team, Exantos. And in Upwork, we were like getting client works as a team, focus on building MVPs. So that worked out so well because Simon was really into the marketing sales pitch. He had a background in Amazon. And me and Osman was like, call them monkeys, like throw us any idea, we will build a product out of it. So worked out well. We did that for like 3-4 years almost. Eventually we got like expert vetted. Before we get to there though, ever since I changed my job from architecture company to software, I also dropped out from architecture studies. And after that, I tried to switch to the like software engineering, but the software engineering part was like, didn't last long. I went to the classroom one day and they were teaching like what is variable, what is things. Meanwhile, I was doing like a building software for drones. Didn't feel like, this is what I need to do right now. So I end up like, fuck that, and drop out that one as well.
I quit.
So last year of China, I was just like working on freelancing, working from home. Then after that, I just like almost all together, all that group is we decided to let's leave China and go somewhere else. We went back to Turkey, tried to live there for a couple months after living in China for 6 years. It didn't feel like right. It was already too late for me. I guess I got the poison for like living abroad, being expat. So a couple of months in, we decided to do like a team gathering in Thailand. We all fly from Turkey to Thailand. Some friends are coming from China. We did like 1 week or 2 in Bangkok, just like hacking together, doing stuff. After that, I decided, okay, I'm going to stay around. And I went to Chiang Mai to start exploring the digital nomad scene. It was cool. While I'm doing the like freelancing gigs with the team. Then eventually, after like I get an expert vetted, I was like really actually getting well paid for what I do. So my working strategy is a bit change. I will work for like 1-2 months, make some bank, then I will go spend that savings into trying to build some stuff. I built a bunch of random ass product, but I was good at building them. Everything is ready, but I always failed in the marketing part, I guess. I never had, like, I was a little bit perfectionist mindset, never push it through. So next was the last product I was building before all this shenanigans. I tried to build a product called Pericote. It was like a micro freelancing platform. Basically, it's like a competitor to Upwork, but all the jobs in there is like a commit size. You have a bug, you get someone's attention, you look at together, and so everything was cool. I built it in like 1 month. I launched the product and get some customers, even I think I made money from it. But it was a marketplace. It had the chicken egg problems. And if you don't have enough customers or enough providers, you always fail on it. So at that time, I was like thinking, maybe if I do like some crypto payments into it, I will make money. Because at that time, it was like crypto was rising and like everyone the project had the crypto. It was like, oh, it's a success. So I tried to implement the crypto while doing it in public. I was just like really noisy in Twitter, just like randomly talking about my learnings, what I'm doing, how I'm doing, reading the tutorials, etc. All like sharing the opinions, how it's done. While I was doing that, it's like I was really short on my savings. I had like a last couple $1,000 in my bank account while I believe in Ukraine. Then one day, this guy on Twitter just like reached me out saying that like, hey, I saw your tweets. One of the tutorials you were commenting on was like written by me. Do you want to like give us a feedback? Can we jump on a call and like discuss how we can do better? I said, okay, that's cool. I jump on a call. idea of like, I'm just going to help out with some feedback to them. But a couple minutes into the meeting, while talking about who I am, etc., they said like, we're going to build an open source DAO. And we are looking for new teammates to join us and like build with us. So I got headhunted by the company called Figment family, thank you. I got the job offer from them. And I was quite happy, I would say. The reason, because I was really short on my savings, and this will be, I guess, first proper full-time job offer. So I took the job, worked for them for a year and a half. I started as just a software developer, then eventually I became a tech lead in the company. Given the experience I had in the freelancing, building like a products from scratch, it's become really handy knowing what to build, what to work on. I was even like almost migrate to the Canada by the like a company relocation package. But during that process, things like get sideways and like end up deciding not to pursue to the Canada path. And eventually, last July, I quit. I quit my job, thinking I no longer have interest in like building, working with the crypto. Crypto was like a hype-driven development, I would say. It didn't feel like right. I joined the company in the first place for like I'm gonna do some open source project. It's such an opportunity for me to like go out there, make a content. Having the open source project I was working on is being hibernated. It's like just they stopped continuing and they relocate me to like another team to lead. I felt like this is just a regular software job now. It's no longer like it gives me things I was seeking for, like doing open source, proving my skills to like a little bit like thought leadership. So I quit and I start like looking into this new trend, AI. So I was thinking that like whole this AI thing was a gold rush. Everyone was trying to build different AI products and trying to find like a gold. I thought what sells best in the gold rush is the shop which sells all these shovels, etc. So let me try to build a shovel. But in order to figure out what is a shovel, I need to build an AI product. So me and my girlfriend, Daria, we start working on this product called AI Life Story. It's a AI agent does a interview with you, just like trying to get like more information about you, your background, your stories. And eventually, with all the collected information throughout the interview process, it will go and write the chapters for you. The idea was validated. We built the product in 1 month, I guess. We didn't launch it anywhere. Still didn't launch it. But one of the experiments with the product was like, let me do some SEO work done. So I did like a couple AI automation to write SEO blogs for the website. And now it's like organically growing. We're getting like 1,000 clicks a month, really niche targeted keyword. And almost every day, a couple people are signing up. So the idea validated. There was even like a couple sales. So the money was also validated. I stopped developing it because the technology was not there. I built this like 6 months ago now. And at that time, I literally built from scratch all this like streaming, the direct implementations, etc. What was my learning was like having a system to like modify, check, and like see what's going on with your AI application was a difficult pain. So I stopped there. I knew that like a couple months later, like there will be some open source projects solving this problem. And when it's there, I will be just like implement and relaunch the product saying, now we have a better solution, come work with us. That's still on the plan.